Today on Coach a la Carte. That's me, Jim Fleming, head coach of URI football. Football is being pushed back for obvious reasons. Since I've got some time on my hands, I've decided to hit the road to see what fall in Rhode Island is really like. Because for me, the only thing that comes close to football is enjoying some great food with great friends. So join me as I visit some of the best restaurants in Rhode Island on Coach a la Carte. Chip.
Coach.
How are you, pal?
Good, how are you doing?
It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
What a spot.
Thank you.
What is it, a half mile to campus?
Whew, we say we're the closest pour you can get before a football game.
I'll tell you right now, knowing this, I mean, we got to get the word out because you couldn't figure out a better place to come, hanging out for an hour before you shot over to the tailgate.
The night game's under the lights now, you come before. The noon game's later in the year, you come after.
So this is your stuff?
This is our stuff, yeah. So we've got a variety of different beers. We always try to keep it on the scale of light stuff, dark stuff, sweet stuff, hoppy stuff. Trying to mix the taste people are going for. We've got the Sea and Sand Pale Ale. It's what we're brewing today. It's something that we have here. It's something that they have at the Mews Tavern. And we'll go inside and we'll take a look at some of the equipment and the process.
Good, let's go do this.
All righty, let's do it. The beer that we actually are in process brewing today is a Sea and Sand Pale Ale. It's one of our most popular beers. It can be found here, can also be found at liquor stores throughout the state, a number of restaurants, especially the Mews Tavern, which is a consistent carrier of the Sea and Sand Pale Ale. This is our brew deck, so this is where our brew day starts. So the tank on the left here is what we call a mash tun. So grains and hot water are put together in this. You get all the grains just soaked in the hot water as best you can, and then you let it rest in there. There's a couple other processes that go on, one called vorloffing. After that, we'll transfer it over to the tank on the right side, which is the kettle. And in the process of transferring it, we'll also do a thing called sparging, where more hot water is then put on top of the liquid, and that will all pass through the bed of the grains and transfer over to the kettle. At this point, you have a sugary liquid. It's called wort. And then this would be the first point where you would add hops. So for this beer, we'll have some hop additions in the kettle while it's boiling. And so hops add bitterness to balance out the sweetness that you get from the wort, but you also add it for flavor and aroma. And a lot of hops now are popular for fruit flavors, citrus, which also, just comes from the hop. There's no fruit, it's just the oils that are within the hop that can kind of produce these crazy fruit aromas and flavors. We move into one of these fermenting tanks. Will be pitched with the yeast. Yeast will, in effect, convert those sugars, some of those sugars, into alcohol. Fermentation process goes through two different stages. So in the primary fermentation, you get the alcohol, and then you go into a secondary fermentation, which essentially is a cold rest that will refine the product into the beer that you want. So flavors off, things that you don't want in there are gonna fall out. Some of the look of the beer is gonna change in this cold resting secondary time. So after you have it in the fermenting tanks for a total of 2 weeks for a beer like Sea and Sand, we'll transfer it to this conditioning tank or a bright tank. When the now beer is transferred into this tank, what we're doing is really getting like the final refining, get it down to the temperature, carbonation, everything we want. In here, you have your final beer. And then from here, we'll package the beer canning and with kegging. For kegging, you just have hoses attached right to the base of a dahlia here, and you can just fill up the kegs right here. For the canning process, we'll also have the hose attached at the bottom. I mean, it's the exact same product coming out, and then we'll run that over to our canning line, attach that, set up. I mean, for us, anywhere from 20 to 100 cases per the batches that we do. That's essentially beginning to end, and then we pour it.
Chip, that was awesome, man. I mean, just to see the whole process in there. And you know, since I still kind of don't understand what Simcoe and Mosaic hops is, then we're gonna crack a couple of these open.
That time we find out. Huh?
I've been up since 5 o'clock waiting on this, man. Now, are you a roadie guy?
I'm a roadie guy. I'm actually born and raised in West Kingston, and I grew up ball boying at URI football games.
No.
Yeah, back when Floyd Keith was the coach in the late 90s.
No.
Yeah, man. David Jameson pounding the ball back in the day. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been a URI football and basketball, pretty much anything fan. Long time.
So, Chip, Shaidzon. Is that what that means?
It's the literal story of where the name came from. Literally like shades on. Josh and I, my business partner, were having the hardest time coming up with a name. We were either taken or we couldn't both agree on it. I was driving to our attorney's office to file the paperwork to become a business, and the sun was in my eyes as I was driving, and I thought, I need my shades on. And that's how it was. That's how it went. And we thought, you know, we'll use it as a placeholder. Down the road, we'll change it when we find the real name. But that was the real name. We had found it.
What was your brand before you started brewing?
I was a big fan of Keystone Light. Yes. Cheap, light beer.
Dude, it was back in the day. It was let's go to the mountain, man. It was Bush, Bush or Coors Light. And Keystone, there's been some Keystone, but probably being as old as I am, there's probably not too many brands we haven't tasted at some time or another. But
yeah, come across a lot.
Love this, absolutely love it.
Cheers. It's a little bit different than those beers, but
yeah, no doubt.
There's that Simcoe and Mosaic hops, you know.
That's the taste. I mean, but it's like it's always been intimidating to me, you know, breweries. To go in and, you know, order some, because I really have no idea, and, you know, continue to get education from people like yourself, and of course I can only grasp about 10% of it. But then again, I would expect most people could only get 10% of what I know about too, you know?
Well, that's the thing, you don't have to get all of it, you know?
No. It's always, you feel so ignorant though, running in there, say, hey, you got something that's, you know, looks light? Yeah. You know, because that's what the dark beers have never jumped.
The black lager.
But, you know, I'm an Irish guy. I'm supposed to be a Guinness guy. I don't get it. I still haven't gotten that. So have you been able to get to any football games?
Starting this relationship with URI is that essentially it would be kind of my task to be involved at the football games, you know, take advantage of the times when we're able to table over there, promote our brand. And, you know, we need to get the word out. You know, being fans of URI sports, having, you know, URI alumni working for us, I mean, it was a no-brainer. The program, the people have been great to work with. And, you know, we were able to get a sign on the marquee in 138, which we think's, you know, huge with the number of people driving on that road. It gives me a boost when I drive by and I see it. That's just one thing of many, you know. I'm a hockey player. I play at Boss Arena.
You do?
We got the sign on the boards there, so, you know, it's like now I go play and, you know, my buddies I'm playing take shots over at the sign, you know, try to hit the sign and not the goal.
Knocking down your life's work, man. Yeah. I mean, that's some BS.
Yeah.
You know, as you said, you know, you're about a mile away from campus, you know, and it's an unknown deal. I've been here 7 years, and I've always driven by the street.
Yeah, 138 all the time.
It was just the doggone, you know, lumberyard or whatever. And now I got a reason to come down the street. I'll be back. I'll bring my wife. I'll bring my kids who are no longer kids. And one youngest daughter is back home from way out in California, and a fellow Buff.
Fellow Colorado
Buff,
Buffalo.
Colorado Buffalo,
Yeah.
Graduated proudly.
Go Buffs.
Amen. Go Rhodey.
Go Rhodey. Of course.
After learning all about Shaidzon Brewery over a few sea and sands, I thought it would be best to send for my chauffeur to take me over to Mews Tavern. It's easy to lose yourself in the beauty of southern Rhode Island. All these small towns are just stunning over this fall foliage.
This right here is, right here, this is one of my favorite spots actually.
Right here.
Yeah, like, cause you haven't seen it quite yet, but the campus, and growing up in Rhode Island, this is all back roads, we call it, right?
Yep.
But this right here, once you get to this stoplight here and you see this sign, right? You get Matunic one way,
Yep.
Ryan Center, Boss Arena, but the campus is now, this is where the university actually is. And the foliage this time of year is just, perfect, really.
No better place. Going up here to see Georgie McAuliffe at the Mews, who's been great supporters of URI athletics. Had many a time up there on Thursday nights, games, in the falls, having radio shows with Stevie Mack and the boys, and it's a great spot.
Yeah.
Where you been?
How are you, baby?
How you doing?
Good to see you. You met Stone Freeman?
How are you?
How you doing, my friend?
Nice to meet you.
Stone's the future voice.
The future voice. All right.
How you been?
Living the dream. Living the dream.
Good work I've seen upstairs.
You like that?
I did. I walked in and checked it out.
You like our outside area?
The outside area.
We did that just for you.
Yeah, but I haven't
So
shown.
maybe today you'll show up.
Okay, all right. As you can tell right now,
All right.
George and I go back a little ways, and it's always had a cantankerous relationship.
Let's go make a pizza.
Sounds good. So this is up close and personal. The only time we've seen pizza and made pizza is when they gave us the crust already prepared.
So we take some of our house-made dough. I like to start off making a little bead around the edge with my thumb here. And what you're gonna do on the stone is you're really just gonna work this outer edge and leave the center kind of high. I like to take a couple pulls at it here. And then when you get it roughly the size of a plate, that's when you can get some action in the air. The reason you leave it kind of tougher in the center is because that's where you're gonna catch it.
Yeah, that's what you think.
You want a little something to hang on to.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this here for about 10 years, I'd say.
Right on.
Yeah, so.
How many pizza doughs did you mess up before you go ahead and got
You
it
mess up
mastered?
a few, but it comes with the territory.
You ready to give it a toss?
So I'm ready to toss.
I think you're ready, man. What I like to do is you take it with your knuckles, right? And whether I kind of think of it like I'm shooting a basketball almost.
Right on.
So you're leading I lead with my right hand.
Yeah, me too.
And then you're gonna throw it up, give it a twist, catch it in the center with your knuckle.
Flem, remember basketball, not a football.
Dude, I want you to know that this is a lifetime achievement for me, man. I've always watched this.
Well, I'm gonna give you a drum roll too.
This is a little bit concerning. So we're going here.
There you go.
Then we're going there. That don't work. So how many tosses do you get? Does that help expand it?
Yeah, so we're about worked as far as we want to go.
All right, and I just messed it up. Boom. And I did clean properly, just so everybody knows.
So yeah, that's your small pie. Start here with the crust, and we've got a mixture of cornmeal and panko crumbs that we put on the peel so that it doesn't stick to the oven. Start with the sauce. So we'll start with our house pizza sauce. We get a nice ladle of this.
How's this Georgie's recipe, man? Has he ever been in the kitchen here? Go ahead, and our illustrious host, George McAuliffe, does he design the...
Sometimes he'll suit up.
Of course.
You come over here and we'll build it however you want.
Well, we gotta have cheese.
Yep, so it's our 4-cheese house blend. It's mozzarella, Asiago, and provolone.
What else you are in there, Flem?
You gotta go with some sausage.
Sausage, yep. Our sausage here, smoked in-house. It's a hot Italian sausage.
Only one kind, right? That's the best.
That's right, yep.
Does that come from Rhode Island? Do you get that in Rhode Island? And the sausage you have to send out, or do you not want to give your secrets away, George?
We smoke it in-house. It comes raw, yep, and we throw it in the smoker.
Really?
About 3 hours in the smoker, and we slice it up here. What else can we do after sausage?
Go with little onions.
Little onions. We got red and caramelized.
Let's go red. And then what else we got? We got any kind of peppers?
Yep, we do. I've got green peppers and I have banana peppers.
Let's go banana peppers and some roasted red. Throw a couple of scallions on there, we're good to go. George, thanks for doing this, bud.
Well, someone has to feed you.
All right, you guys ready for this?
Yeah, why don't you do the honors?
That's what I do. That's what I do. Take some coaching. We're good.
Yeah. Perfect, thanks, man.
I appreciate it, man. That was a dream come true. We were over at Shaidzon, and you know what Shaidzon's all about, right?
Yes, I do. It's a brewery.
Shaidzon. I learned that today. Well, tell me about this, man. This is awesome. I mean, what you've done to this place.
Well, we kind of got lucky. We had this planned at the beginning of the year, and COVID hit, and it gave us time to finish it the right way. So kind of opened up the area, made it a lot nicer, a little more of a function area back here, a more comfortable seating for everyone. You know, we put whole new bar tops in. It's been really nice. Oh, look, here comes the food.
Oh my gosh.
Burger?
Burger, absolutely. We're gonna go ahead and all challenge ourselves, but look at that.
That's your go-to right there, right?
There's your special.
Pizza right there.
We got
Some beers, there we go. I noticed they put the wings in front of me, and his eyes are already looking. So don't you worry, we're gonna slide those over for you.
Fine.
You know.
We're just fine. I want to hear.
Well, they can be in front of you, so while I want to tempt you while you're talking.
Tell me about COVID.
Like everyone, it's been a challenge.
Yeah.
You know, we offer curbside service now, which we never did in the past, and I think we got a really nice setup right now. You can order right through your app, and they bring your food right out to you. It's got the outside area we were able to put up. This whole issue has strained everyone, but we're competitors, but we're friends as well. I mean, that's the beauty of the small town. We know pretty much all the local restaurateurs, and we help each other out when we can. We try to keep it as local as we can, when we can, using local ingredients. Anyone that comes locally, we do our best to try to promote their products, because I think it's important to push local.
Spirit is different. We've been down to Perry's, down at Matunic, you know, outstanding quality people, and we've been talking, you know, worked with Jack Parenti with the gourmet pizza. The food is outstanding, but the quality of the people, their quality of their organization, the depth and character of the people that work for them is the thing that brings people back to the state. And, you know, we're proud as athletics people to be able to represent that, but you guys float the boat, and we so much appreciate, you know, all the pride that you guys show in your products and what you produce for our state, for our people, for us. So this has been awesome. I hope it's been good for you.
Oh, it's always great seeing you,
Right on, man.
especially now that you came over the bridge.
we could not do what we need to do without your support. I mean, when you go to University of Rhode Island Athletic, you know that you see the Mews out there loud and proud. And it's an incredible place. You know, I don't need to stamp it. You're very successful, and you've been a good friend of the program, good friend to me, and I appreciate you having us.
Well, we appreciate you coming in.
All right.
Dig in.
Yes, sir. You ought to be able to find something out of all that.